Hey Hoops fans, it's Chris in the house. Thrilled to have you back with us on Tips and Streams, the go-to spot for your NBA wagering wisdom. I'm charged up to dive into the heart of today's NBA showdowns, bringing you a thrilling lineup of games. Get ready for a deep dive into our keen predictions and insider tips, tailored just for you. Stay with us, and let's leap into the heart of today's NBA betting insights. The first today's prediction is for the matchup between Denver Nuggets and Indiana Pacers. As the final countdown begins for tonight's Denver Nuggets versus Indiana Pacers face-off at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, we're gearing up for a high-voltage clash on the hardwood. The Nuggets, flaunting a solid 30-14 record, are in full swagger mode, having racked up 7 wins in their last 10 games. Their recent victories against the likes of the Celtics and Wizards highlight their on-court prowess. The trio of Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. have been lighting up the scoreboard, playing a crucial role in the Nuggets' dynamic offense and tight defense. On the other side of the court, the Indiana Pacers, with a 24-19 tally, are hitting a bit of a snag, dropping 4 out of their last 5. But don't let that fool you. Their home court hustle is real, boasting a 13-8 record in their own arena. With Tyrese Haliburton steering the ship and the new addition of Pascal Siakam, the Pacers' offense has been nothing short of explosive, averaging a jaw-dropping 125 points on a 50.5% shooting spree. Their defense, however, hasn't been as ironclad, giving up an average of 123.1 points. Looking at the history books, the Nuggets have been the dominant squad in recent clashes with the Pacers, bagging 7 straight wins. But when it comes to beating the spread, it's a different ballgame. The Nuggets often stumble after a winning streak, whereas the Pacers, despite being the underdogs, have a knack for shining on Tuesdays. Weighing up the stats and trends, it's clear both teams have their strengths and weak spots. The Nuggets, with their consistency and solid lineup, seem to have the upper hand. But the Pacers' high-octane offense, especially on their home turf, is not to be overlooked. Predicting the play-by-play, I'm leaning towards a fierce, score-heavy showdown, with the Nuggets possibly edging out a win. But they've shown a tendency to coast against teams like the Pacers in regular season tussles. Remember their recent Denver outing? A 117-109 win over the Pacers. But the Pacers were handicapped, missing Siakam and, more importantly, Haliburton. Tonight, with Haliburton back in action, the Pacers could shake things up. Given their stellar home game stats and offensive efficiency, they might just beat the spread and then some. Expect a high total score, showcasing the scoring talents of both sides. So here's the final buzzer. Anticipate a cliffhanger where the Nuggets could snag the win, but the Pacers, with their home court advantage and scoring firepower, are a solid bet to cover the plus 4-point spread. Today's prediction is for the game between the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets. Tonight's hardwood battle between the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets is shaping up to be an epic Big Apple clash. The Knicks are rolling in hot with a solid track record of 26 victories and 17 defeats. They've been lighting up the scoreboard with a hefty average of 115.116 points per game, while putting the clamps on their rivals at 110.58 points. Their shooting game is on point, nailing 46.63% from the field and 37.21% from downtown. The Nets, meanwhile, have been navigating rougher waters this season, pocketing 17 wins against 25 setbacks. They've been racking up 114.2 points per game, but their defense is springing leaks, giving up 115.54 points on average. Their shooting touch is a shade below the Knicks, hitting 45.8% of their shots and 36.33% from beyond the arc. Looking at the current flow, the Knicks are riding a strong wave, going 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 outings and 9-2 in straight victories over the same period. But they've hit some snags in Brooklyn, with a 1-6 record in their recent road games against the Nets. The Nets have been stumbling, marked by a 3-15-1 record against the spread in their last 19 and 1-5 in straight wins in their recent 6. Digging into their head-to-head showdowns, the Knicks have bagged 3 wins and beat the spread in 6 of their last 10 face-offs with the Nets. In Brooklyn's court, the Knicks have snagged just 1 win and 3 spread covers in their past 6 encounters. Injury-wise, the Knicks might be down Isaiah Hartenstein and definitely missing Mitchell Robinson, while the Nets are without Ben Simmons and Day'Ron Sharpe. Backing the Nets isn't the easiest call, given their recent slump and a tough loss to the Clippers. But with home court advantage and showing signs of their early season form, I'm leaning towards them to at least beat the 5-point spread, if not snatch the win, despite the Knicks' stronger season showings. My bet is on the Brooklyn Nets to cover the plus 5-point spread in this nail-biter. The next today's prediction is for the game between Utah Jazz and New Orleans Pelicans. Get ready for a sizzling hoops battle at the Smoothie King Center, where the Utah Jazz and the New Orleans Pelicans are about to light up the court. The Jazz, rocking a balanced 22-22 record, have been lighting it up offensively, racking up an impressive 117.3 points per game. Their board-crashing game is on point, and their shooting accuracy is noteworthy, netting 46.8% from the field. Yet their defense leaves something to be desired, giving up 118.7 points on average. The Pelicans, perched at a strong 25-18, are edging out the Jazz in shooting efficiency with a 48.59% field goal rate. Their three-point game is fire, hitting 38.22% from downtown. Scoring slightly less than Utah at 116.67 points per game, they more than make up for it with a tighter defense, allowing just 112.28 points. Lately, the Jazz have been tearing it up against the spread, going 7-1 in their last 8, especially against their Western Conference rivals. The Pelicans have had a mixed run recently, but are showing grit in January's matchups. In their last 10 face-offs, the Jazz have the upper hand over the Pelicans, clinching 7 wins and beating the spread in 8. Specifically, in their last 5 showdowns in New Orleans, the Jazz grabbed 2 wins and covered the spread thrice, showing they've got the Pelicans' number in this duel. Watch out for the epic showdown between the Jazz's Lauri Markkanen and the Pelicans' Zion Williamson. I'm betting on Markkanen to steer the Jazz, while Williamson is tipped to outshine both Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum in this clash. My prediction? The Jazz are looking good to beat the spread. They've been solid against the spread and historically have the Pelicans' number. Their offensive heat and rebounding prowess should keep them neck and neck in this game. Expect the total score to soar past the 238-point mark, showcasing the offensive strengths of both teams. While the Pelicans are formidable, especially with their big three in form and on their home turf, the Jazz's recent streak and their head-to-head record point to them beating the plus 7-point spread in a high-scoring showdown, with the total score eclipsing 238. The next today's prediction is for the game between Portland Trail Blazers and Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, let's break down the epic face-off coming up between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The hardwood's heating up with this much-anticipated matchup. Kicking off with the Thunder, they've got the home court on lock. This season, they're playing like hoops heroes at home. With a killer record of 29-13, they're tearing up the court offensively, averaging a whopping 121.74 points per game. That's way over the Trailblazers' 107.55, with a field goal percentage of 35% and sinking threes at 39.11%. The Thunder are a scoring machine. Their defense, letting in 113.67 points per game, isn't top tier, but with their scoring spree, it's been enough to keep them on top. Now, the Trailblazers' story is a bit of a bumpy ride. With a 12-30 record, they're struggling to hit their stride. Scoring 107.55 points and allowing 170.10 per game, their play's been a bit off the mark. Their 43.45% field goal and 35.31% three-point shooting show a team trying to find its groove. The head-to-head history leans heavily towards the Thunder. The Blazers haven't snagged a win against them in their last 10 matchups, especially struggling in Oklahoma City. The Blazers are also down in the injury department, missing key players like Robert Williams and Moses Brown, and Shaedon Sharpe's playing status is up in the air. Now, let's talk about prediction. The Thunder look set to win, but the 15-point spread for the Blazers feels too generous. Looking at recent games, the Thunder's offensive edge isn't that wide. They're scoring 115.6 points per 100 possessions with a net rating of plus 0.7, while the Blazers are at 111.5 and a net rating of minus 9.2. This spread might be stretching it. The Blazers could surprise us, and NBA games are full of wild cards. So while the Thunder are likely to win, I'm betting on the Blazers to keep it closer than the spread suggests. My money's on the Blazers to beat the 15-point spread. The last prediction for today is for the matchup between Los Angeles Lakers and Los Angeles Clippers. Tonight's clash is set to be a barn burner, with the Los Angeles Lakers squaring off against their hometown rivals, the Los Angeles Clippers, at the Crypto.com arena. The Lakers, showing a bit of a roller coaster season with a 23-22 record, face off against the Clippers, who've been on a solid run, boasting 27 wins to 14 losses. This matchup is a critical showdown for both squads as they hustle for dominance in the Western Conference. Scouting the Lakers, they're scrapping to get into a groove, especially on the road, where they've only bagged 8 wins against the spread in 20 games. Post-Christmas, they've been kind of lukewarm, balancing on a 2-3 edge both straight up and against the spread. Anthony Davis is the Lakers' main man, dropping an average of 25.2 points and hauling down 12.1 boards a game, anchoring their gameplay. Flipping to the Clippers, they've been tearing it up, especially on their home court, covering the spread in 81% of their games. Paul George, dropping 23.9 points and snagging 5.5 rebounds a game, has been clutch for them. His sharp shooting from downtown, hitting 39.6% from beyond the arc, has been a key weapon. In the face-off history, the Lakers have been on the ropes against the Clippers, clinching only 2 victories in their last 13 showdowns. The Clippers have ruled their turf, snagging the last 6 home games against the Lakers. Their recent streak is also hot, bagging 5 of their last 6 and 7 in a row at home. Injuries might sway the game too. The Lakers are sweating over Taurean Prince and missing Gabe Vincent, while the Clippers are without Ivica Zubac and Moussa Diabate. From the betting angle, the Clippers are favored with a minus 6.5 point spread. Both teams pack a punch in scoring, with the Lakers averaging 114.96 points and the Clippers a bit ahead at 117.80. But the Clippers lock down better on defense, allowing 112.05 points per game against the Lakers' 150.44. Weighing the current form, stats, and past clashes, the bet's leaning towards the Los Angeles Clippers to not just snag the win, but also beat the spread, with the total points likely dipping below 231. The Clippers' solid defense, home court mojo, and recent form tip the scales in this city rivalry. Bet on the Los Angeles Clippers to beat the minus 7 point spread against the Los Angeles Lakers.